Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Northern Kentucky Spotlight Podcast. I'm your host, Sarah Brookbank. Today, we have two special guests. We will be joined by Carlos Sanchez, president of AT&T of Kentucky, and Laura Menge, the senior philanthropic advisor of the Greater Cincinnati Foundation. Thank you to our podcast sponsors, CVG, our title sponsor, C-Crew Consulting, our digital sponsor, and our episode sponsors, Haran and Heartland Bank. Like I said, we have two guests today. Carlos Sanchez of AT&T will be talking about AT&T's work across the Commonwealth, as well as their work in Northern Kentucky. Laura Menge will join us to talk about the 2022 Devou Cup honorees, which will be handed out at annual dinner. Annual dinner, presented by Fifth Third Bank, is themed Destination NKY. Annual dinner this year will celebrate Northern Kentucky by honoring the accomplishments of individuals in the business community and making our region a great place to live and work and play. Annual dinner is going to be on September 15th at the Northern Kentucky Convention Center. Like we've said in past podcast episodes, this is always a sellout event, so don't miss your chance to get tickets. You can learn more and register for annual dinner at nkychamber.com/annual dinner. Now, let's go meet our members of the week, hear from our sponsors, and I will meet you guys back here with Carlos and Laura.
CVG Airport is the lowest fare airport in the tri-state region with 54 nonstop flights and direct international service to 7 destinations, including Paris, France, and now home to both DHL's and Amazon's global cargo hubs. The airport is furthering its position as leader in aviation and is deeply committed to being an economic driver for the community. You can learn more and start your next adventure at cvgairport.com.
Ranking on Google Search and Maps is easy to understand, but hard to do. It requires constant effort and attention, uploading new photos, responding to Google reviews, writing weekly posts, and checking suggested updates. Google listing optimization takes experience and time, and there are no shortcuts. C-Crew gives your Google My Business account the steady, consistent attention it needs to be effective, optimizing, updating, and expanding critical content every single week. From local retail stores to large regional networks, C-Crew generates content, establishes benchmarks, and creates dramatic, measurable increases in engagement. So what can C-Crew do for your business? More calls, more clicks, more clients.
Congratulations to our members of the week. You can learn more about these businesses by following the Northern Kentucky Chamber on social media, where we will highlight one of these businesses each day. Now, let's meet our members of the week. Digital Candy is a digital marketing agency. They specialize in email marketing, influencer marketing, and social media marketing. Turner Construction, the largest general contractor in the country, has been building in Greater Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky since 1903. Menge Corporation is a leader in the design and manufacturing of productive machine tool solutions. DHL is an international team of more than 380,000 shipping professionals, united by a passion for logistics. Hi, everyone. I am joined by Carlos Sanchez. He is the president of AT&T of Kentucky. Carlos, thank you so much for joining the podcast today.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate this invitation. Definitely looking forward to this conversation.
Yes, and so you cover all of Kentucky. You are currently based in Louisville, and you are really new to this role. So tell us a little bit about you.
Oh, well, thank you. That's great. I've been here in this role for 4 months. I started April 1st, and it's been wonderful. It's been very exciting to travel the Commonwealth from east to west and north to south and see everything the state has to offer. Definitely a very pretty state, which very diverse as well. So it's exciting. I've been definitely meeting a lot of people, a lot of stakeholders. But as far as my career, I was in North Carolina before coming to Kentucky in the Triangle Raleigh region for 3 years, and then in the Charlotte region for 21 years. So basically 24 altogether. And what I say is that all those 24 years were preparing me to be in Kentucky. So now I'm here, and my wife is here, and my mother-in-law actually lives with us. So we all moved here. Our 2 boys are already grown up, and they stay back in North Carolina with their jobs. But the more we travel, the more we see it, the more we like it.
Yeah, well, we are very happy to have you in Kentucky. And so tell us a bit about AT&T of Kentucky and what you guys do locally and regionally and across the state.
Yes, no, absolutely. So AT&T, of course, has been around for over 140 years in Kentucky, and we've been the local phone company for most of the state, most of the Commonwealth. Some areas there are other local providers, and that's the case for Northern Kentucky. Northern Kentucky, AT&T is not your local phone company. We're definitely your wireless company in that area. Um, and today is kind of hard to distinguish because most people just want broadband and they don't mind whether it comes from wireline or wireless as long as it's fast and reliable. But we've been, of course, here for a long time, and we're very much committed to the state. Just in the last 3 years, we have invested over $750 million in Kentucky and in our wireline and wireless networks, and we continue to invest. So AT&T is doing great things here. Of course, in the areas where we're the local provider, we're heavily investing in fiber deployment to bring fiber connectivity to residential customers and businesses. And we're doing speeds of 5 gigabits per second symmetrical. So basically, this is 5,000 megabits per second. Is very fast. We're the only provider, to my knowledge, basically achieving those speeds in Kentucky, and it's exciting and it's very good for people to connect their computers. But the computer can only do like 700 megs. I mean, maybe an iMac very fast may do 1 gig, but what is good is basically all the wireless devices that may be connected. So you may have 3, 4 iPhones and all of them going at 600 megs each. People watching little movies, streaming videos, playing video games over the internet. So that's where that speed of 5 gigs is really beneficial. But in the wireless side, we've been very, very busy upgrading our network to 5G, and definitely in the Northern Kentucky area, primarily is all 5G everywhere. So we have a very robust network in your area and cover it really well. So we're very proud of all the different enhancements that we've been doing to the 5G network. And I don't want to bother you with all of the technicalities because there is low band and mid band and high band 5G, and we have frequencies and equipment in all of those 3 bands and are covering the area really well. So providing really fast speeds in your area. So we're excited about that. And one other area that is important that we are also very much involved is our Firstnet network. And Firstnet, for those of you in your audience who may not be aware of, is the National First Responders and Law Enforcement Network. Basically, back with 9/11, Katrina, those big major disasters in our country, Congress basically wanted to make sure that all of the different agencies that respond to big events from out of state, that they can communicate. Because back with like Katrina, for example, fire department from Texas will come into Louisiana and they couldn't communicate with the locals because they had different equipment, different frequencies, different carriers. So Congress created the 911 commission, 9/11 commission, and then the Firstnet Authority to run a bid, basically an RFP, and ask for proposals. And AT&T presented a proposal, and we were lucky. We won the contract with the federal government. So we have the National First Responders Network, and we have many different customers that are taking advantage of Firstnet in Kentucky, definitely in Northern Kentucky. Just to give you a very high-level description, Firstnet is like an HOV lane in a highway. So basically, you have a number of lanes that are being used by commercial users, and then there is a dedicated lane for first responders that is never busy. In other words, that they can always travel on. Just imagine that there is a big football game there in Cincinnati, for example, and you have 50,000 people with a touchdown and trying to send a picture, and then at the same time some incident happens, someone falls from a stair or something, and they need to call 911. Well, a first responder, they get on the phone while other people may have a little delay sending picture, because 50,000 people sending a picture at the same time, you get that little bar and it takes a moment. Well, the first responders, law enforcement, will never have any delays. They will communicate voice, text, data, pictures, anything. So that's what it's designed for, and we're very proud of Firstnet and what it's doing here in Kentucky.
Yeah.
So those are some of the major services that we're providing, and definitely in your area, we have a lot of customers who benefit from AT&T services, and we're very proud of serving that area and being, of course, a member of the Northern Kentucky Chamber and seeing everything that you do. I mean, because your chamber is just thriving. You're doing so much in services to your constituents, your members, but also in the public policy side, you're very active. Brent is just a fantastic guy, Brent Cooper. You couldn't have a better chamber president. So you have a great chamber, great staff.
Yes, we love Brent. We love all of our members. We're very lucky to have the robust chamber that we have. I know you and I had talked about that a little bit before we started the formal interview. And actually, AT&T of Kentucky, you guys are really involved with our advocacy team and working with public policy. Can you kind of touch on that a little bit and what you guys have been doing in like government advocacy and working in public policy?
Yeah, no, thank you. That's great. For AT&T, like most businesses, we want to have a business-friendly state, and to have the public policy that basically is welcoming new investment, and that's what we support. I mean, we're very interested in making sure that there's good policy in that front, and working with chambers and economic development groups that basically promote such an environment. I mean, what I say is that capital flows where it's treated best and remains where it's appreciated the most. So that's basically what we are about with our public policy. So we're engaged and we participate in the political process to support such policies, and I think that is important for businesses. There is just so many different areas. One other area that we are very involved is broadband deployment, of course, for the state. And this past session, the legislature passed a great piece of legislation, Senate Bill 315, for broadband deployment. Using the federal stimulus funding, ARPA dollars that were basically sent to the different states and local governments as well, counties and municipalities. So Kentucky is putting together the guidelines to run a very successful program, and we're excited about supporting that as well.
Yeah, we talk a lot about, especially in the state of Kentucky, this has been a conversation that's been ongoing for years, it feels like, that idea of closing the digital divide, where you think, so somewhere like a Louisville or a Northern Kentucky or a Lexington, we have these really fast broadband speeds. But once you get outside of those city centers, you kind of lose a little bit of that.
Oh, yes.
You think Eastern, Western Kentucky. So what has AT&T been doing statewide to kind of close that gap?
Yeah, no, that's great. Thank you, Sarah. So again, we want to be able to participate in these different opportunities that the federal government has enabled with the stimulus funding. So they have provided states and local governments with a lot of funding to basically run competitive bids for different providers to apply and get subsidies. What happens is that in rural areas where there is very little population and there may be two homes on top of a mountain, another home over there, it's very expensive to deploy the network. And of course, for a company like AT&T, that we have to respond to our shareholders, we would have to either charge a customer a lot of money to run the line to their home, or a big monthly recurring charge, and we wouldn't do that. So with this funding that is coming from the federal government, that is helping to subsidize some of the costs, then the economics change all of a sudden, and it really provides and allows for companies like AT&T and other providers to get out there and basically apply for this funding and then run networks. We have a great story. I mean, a few here in Kentucky. I will mention Oldham County. They ran an RFP earlier this year. Different providers participated. AT&T won the RFP, the bid, and we are right now basically building a network for Oldham County, where we're going to connect every household in the county and every business, 22,000 of them, with 5 gigabit per second symmetrical fiber going to every household and business in Oldham County. Great partnership with them, and that's what we're trying to do with other counties as well. And that is helping a lot with those areas, like you're saying, that are very rural. And they also deserve to have fast speeds. I mean, with the pandemic, a lot of people went to work from home, learn from home. That is dynamics still being played out, what is going to happen, but there's a lot of people still taking advantage of that opportunity. We need to provide robust networks to make sure that things are in place. But you touched on something important about closing the digital divide. Access is one area of the equation, because you gotta have access, but also you need to make it affordable. Some households with limited income, just paying for the internet bill may be a challenge. So we have a low-cost broadband program called Access from AT&T that basically enables customers to connect to internet for $30 a month. This is in the areas where we're the local phone company. So basically is internet where you connect in your household. But the federal government at the same time has passed the Affordable Connectivity Program, ACP, that provides subsidies for households with the same eligibility criteria as AT&T's program. So basically, you need to be in SNAP, like food stamps in your household, or one of your members of the household to be in a recipient of a Pell Grant, free and reduced lunch, and then you qualify for these subsidies. So again, federal government provides $30 a month. AT&T's internet access for this program is $30. So when you combine those two, it's basically free internet. And that's important. We want to make sure that everybody has the opportunity to connect. And then the third piece of the puzzle, the other A, is adoption. So basically you have access, affordability, adoption, the 3 legs of the stool. And there are households out there, some of our senior citizens and others that may not see the benefit of connecting to the internet. So basically educating and providing the tools for people to learn about those benefits, and also the equipment, because you still need a computer or some sort of tablet or a device to connect to the internet. It's very hard to do homework on a phone, so you really need a computer. That's another part. I mean, AT&T announced a couple of years ago a $2 billion program for closing the digital divide, and we're well into providing a lot of opportunities with that program, and is being very well received. So again, different aspects: access, affordability, and of course
You
adoption.
wanted to touch on your recent charitable contributions and what you guys have been doing outside of the actual internet, I guess. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, no, so we're very much involved in the community as a company. Our employees are, and we are basically with our foundation and our charitable contributions budget, because we want to support the community. We want to be able to basically make our communities stronger and work, live, and play in healthy communities. So we're very much involved, and we support different organizations that are doing great things. I mean, in the Northern Kentucky area, the Covington Read Ready program has been one that we've been supporting. Horizon Northern Kentucky is another one. Children Inc., Baldwin Center for Diversity. I mean, there's a bunch that we are supporting. Some of them are involved in closing the homework gap or the digital divide. That is one area that we support very much. And our employees, they form their own volunteer groups, the employee groups. That are formed in different interests. So we have the woman of AT&T, we have the network, which is the African American employees, Hacemos, which is the Latino employees. I mean, we have all sorts of different organizations, and those groups get together and support also causes, or they build habitat homes, for example, for a weekend, go and build a house with Habitat for Humanity, or just different opportunities like that. So we're very proud of our employees and what they do to serve and volunteer in the community.
Yeah, that is awesome. Carlos, we've touched on so much, I feel like, in such a short period of time. Is there anything that we didn't get to talk about that you wanted to tell our podcast listeners and viewers today?
Well, I guess I will just mention a couple of fun facts for AT&T as a company that you may not realize. Like, we have 12,500 patents that are with AT&T. We average 5 patents per day. So we're very much involved in research and trying to basically bring the newest technology. We talked about 5G wireless. Well, 6G is already being tested in the labs, and that's really fast speed. That's when you start talking about the Jetsons. Remember, where
Yes.
basically is the future here, and that's really what we are. We're the company of the future. So that's one fun fact. The other fact that a lot of people ask me, so how much does your traffic grow? And one data point that somebody shared with me recently is that our traffic has grown 470,000% since 2007. And
What?
why? Because somebody invented this thing, right?
Yeah.
The iPhone in 2007. And that's where basically just everything kind of skyrocketed as far as traffic. A lot of video. I mean, video right now makes about half of the traffic in our networks.
Yeah, and I'm probably 10% of that while I scroll through TikTok. Honestly, I have a bit of a TikTok problem. But that's all really so interesting. Carlos, thank you so much for joining us today. Is there anything else that you would like to share? I just want to make sure I give you the opportunity.
No, thank you, Sarah. Definitely appreciate this opportunity to talk to you and your audience, and also to connect with the Northern Kentucky Chamber. Again, such a great organization. You guys are doing so much for your region, and definitely such a fun place to be, and want to visit more often. Definitely, Brand is always saying, come over here, and I've been there a few times, but I would definitely want to keep visiting the area and making sure that that we thrive in Northern Kentucky. Our regional director for Northern Kentucky is Hank Menge. So he's there all the time, and definitely we want to thrive in Northern Kentucky and support what chamber initiatives you're doing in that region.
Yes. Well, Carlos, thank you so much for joining us today and for being a chamber member. We appreciate you guys so much, and I'm sure I will talk to you soon. But thank you again for joining the podcast today.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I am joined by Laura Menge, the Senior Philanthropic Advisor of the Greater Cincinnati Foundation. Laura, thank you for joining us on the podcast today.
Glad to be here. Thanks.
Yes, and we are going to talk about annual dinner. Annual dinner is coming up on September 15th, and one of our honorees this year will be receiving the Devou Cup. And that is an award that is given by the Greater Cincinnati Foundation. So, Laura, tell us a little bit about the Devou Cup.
Since 2004, GCF has awarded the Devou Cup to honor the generosity of individuals who've made a meaningful difference in the quality of life in Northern Kentucky. So this year, we are completely thrilled to award the cup to Bob and Delanne Sathey for all of their contributions into this community.
Yeah, that is so exciting. Tell us a little bit about the Satheys and what they have done across the region.
I mean, what haven't they done? Everyone knows Bob Sathey's been a longtime big financial leader in our region, founder of MCF Advisors. He has been on so many nonprofit boards, Thomas More, Playhouse in the Park, the Ballet, Carnegie, Metropolitan Club, to name a very, very few. And Delanne's also been active in the community also. She was a president for the Anderson chapter of Kinderbelt. So you've just got a terrific couple that really did a lot to support and build our region on both sides of the river. And with 4 great kids, of course, in the mix as well. So it's really a joy for us to get to recognize them this year with the award.
Yeah, and every year this is such a great award to recognize the people that have been making great differences and changes in our community. What is something, if anything, that really stood out to you guys about the Satheys and why you wanted to choose them this year?
Great question. They have been great partners with GCF for the last 20 years. So we've been honored to be a part of their generosity and to see it up close. They live in Anderson, Bob works in Covington. So in terms of really a regional contribution, I think that family reflects it so well. Their generosity just kind of spans both sides of the river. And they're a pleasure to work with. I mean, you've met the Satheys, who doesn't want to lift them up and to celebrate, all that they've done. And we're definitely not alone. I think Bob gets an award from Life Learning Center a few days before this award. So been the recipient of many, honors and awards across the years from lots of different nonprofits. So, but well-deserved. And we're excited that it's our turn to get to recognize them also.
That is so exciting. And congratulations to the both of them for everything that they've done in our community. We always love highlighting these people that have just done so much for us. And then pivoting a little bit, what is the Greater Cincinnati Foundation getting into right now? I know you guys are always busy.
Yes, we are always busy and always getting busier too. It never really slows down, but that makes it kind of fun. We're looking forward to a lot. We're just eager to keep building our relationships and our, trusted partnerships throughout the region, especially in Northern Kentucky. We look forward to keeping our investments up, our grant making in Kenton, Campbell, and Boone counties. We're at about $1 million for this year alone so far, about $50 million across the last 20 years. And so we're really proud of our investments in Northern Kentucky, and we want to keep growing them. We want to keep partnering with more and more nonprofits and leaders to make those contributions be really meaningful and sustainable. Racial equity, affordable housing, those are our big focus areas in our grant making right now and will be into the future. We really believe that we want to create a region in which everybody can thrive. Everybody has the same opportunities to have a successful and healthy life. So that remains our focus for our grant making. But that's just GCF grant making. We also have about 2,000 donor funds from different families and companies and individuals, all generous people in our region who are looking for ways to give back to it. So that's my job. I have the pleasure of getting to get to know really, really great people, helping to connect them with a cause that they might become totally passionate about, and then ultimately amplify their giving, whether that's through a good tax strategy or just, using different assets that can, meaningfully amplify what they are currently doing in the community and take it to the next level. So that's the joy of my job. I'll tell you, it's a dream job. I get to, just every day I'm impressed with how people give back in this community and how well they do it. And just to be a part of it and to see it is a total privilege and joy. So, yeah.
Exciting. And one last thing before I let you go. Speaking of the community and your involvement in reaching out to people and connecting people, you are leading our inaugural cohort of Encounter NKY. Laura, that is so exciting. It's great news for the chamber. Tell us a little bit about that, because I know a lot of people don't really know. They're more used to kind of our standard leadership NKY. So tell us a little bit about Encounter.
I am so excited for this opportunity. Everyone knows my story. I've been here 10 years now. I'm a transplant. I just came here as a traveling spouse, didn't think I'd ever be here this long, but this community had just opened itself way up to me. It became my safe harbor in difficult times. And I worked really hard to invest myself here and to meet people and do things. I loved LNK, one of the best things I ever did. And so the chance to be a part of this program, which is really just all about welcoming and onboarding newcomers like I was, is really resonant to me personally. I mean, that's where I want to contribute my time and my energy. I spent the last decade trying to build those connections and meet the people and plug in and be on boards and invest financially and do all these things, just to build myself into this community. If there's an easier way for other people to do it, so that it wouldn't take the next person 10 years to do, if we can really map out a course for any recent transplant to the region and help them make those introductions and connections earlier on, or just even take them around and have them see the great assets and cultural icons in our region and meet other people. I think it would do a lot to certainly retain talent, but then also just enrich somebody's experience about living here and working here. So when Dawn asked me to chair the committee, of course, it was a no-brainer. I'm like, I love this work. It's personal to me. I want everyone to love this region as much as I've come to love it. So we're building it out. It's a pilot. It's a new thing. So we'll see how it goes. But I'm really excited for it and really optimistic for this first class being a terrific one.
Yeah, well, Laura, I honestly could not think of a better person to lead Encounter NKY. And thank you so much for joining the podcast today, telling us about our amazing Devou Cup honorees. Is there anything else before I let you go that you'd like to share with our podcast listeners?
No, I love this work. I love working with the chamber in lots of different capacities. The annual dinner is always one of the best nights of the year for me. Not just the Devou Cup, but of course all the award recipients that are honored that evening. It's such a powerful night. It just kind of makes me really enjoy being a part of this community. So thanks, Chamber, for all the good opportunities.
Well, Laura, you are very welcome. And I will see you in less than a month at annual dinner on September 15th.
See you then. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Shannon Schumacher, Account Executive, Kentucky Market Leader. At Haran, we champion bold innovation to help employers and individuals thrive. As an industry thought leader, we explore new horizons in healthcare, benefits, employee engagement, and wellness. We work harder to deliver all the strategic benefits, planning, and execution you expect from a true partner. And we do it with laser focus on your short and long-term outcomes to help manage your benefits while improving your employee experience.
So Heartland is celebrating its 110th anniversary this year. Recently, we partnered with the Kinkle family and the Fisher family in northern Kentucky, Boone, Kenton, and Campbell counties. And we have 3 offices there to serve the northern Kentucky region. Just remember, when the economy heats up, come see us at Heartland Bank, where banking really feels good.
Come on over to Heartland, where banking feels good.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining the podcast today. I hope you enjoyed those conversations with Laura and with Carlos. It was great to get some insight from Carlos about closing the digital divide and learning more about what AT&T of Kentucky is doing across the state. Thank you again to our podcast sponsors, CVG, C Crew Consulting, Haran, and Heartland Bank. Don't forget to get your tickets to annual dinner. I will keep pushing ticket sales until that event is sold out or ticket sales close. You can get more information and register at nkychamber.com/annual dinner. And finally, if you are a member who would like to be featured on the podcast, or if you're interested in becoming a member of the Northern Kentucky Chamber, please reach out to Lynn Aplin. You can find her contact information on our staff directory at nkychamber.com, or if you are watching the podcast, you can see that information on your screen. Thanks for joining. I'll talk to you guys next week.